It's happened again. It's happened again. Arsenal Football Club have lost a football match. It's happened again. I don't know what that intro was, but yeah, as you can probably tell by the recent history on this channel, I do enjoy an Arsenal defeat, which have come aplenty recently, if I'm being perfectly honest. I mean, that is now 7 matches in a row in the Premier League that Arsenal have failed to win, which is just, in all seriousness, absolutely astonishing, if I'm honest. And I'm going to be less, kind of banterous in this video about Arsenal, because I actually want to go into detail and properly analyse, the weaknesses of Arsenal and just what's gone wrong at the background of the club with Mikel Arteta, etc. So yeah, let's get into this video. So obviously Everton 2, Arsenal 1 at Goodison Park. A very good win for Everton, who of course have got 3 wins on the bounce now, 2 very good wins against 2 very good sides in Chelsea and Leicester, and a win now against a relegation battler in Arsenal. But no, I just said I was going to be serious, and I've really just put down the drain. But yeah, things just going from bad to worse for Arsenal. I mean, another defeat once again, and to be honest, Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, of course, missing from the team sheet with an illness. And if you, I predicted on Friday night in my Premier League prediction series, if you want to check that out, I did say it would end 1-1 simply because of the fact that Everton were missing the likes of Alan, James Rodriguez. They were still missing Lucas Digne. Seamus Coleman started on the bench today, and Arsenal, I just thought, after the draw against Southampton, they did show a little bit of fight, showed some promise. I thought that they'd be able to manage a point at Goodison Park, but then when I saw the team sheet for Arsenal, I just said, you know what, absolutely no hope they're losing or they're getting a point from this, because it's just really average, especially without Aubameyang. You go through the team, Leno, I think he's a very good goalkeeper, but he's been really poor this last year. Maitland-Niles I actually do kind of rate, but I just think he's not really up to the plate for where Arsenal want to be. Tierney at left back I really do like, I have to say. The centre backs David Luiz, who can be very inconsistent. Rob Holding I think is really average. El Neni I think is decent on his day, but he's only a good utility player for a club like Arsenal. Ceballos I think is kind of overrated. And we go into their attack, which was just completely average. Bukayo Saka, who I really don't rate at this moment in time, I think he's very much overrated. But on the other hand, I will come a little bit of slack because he's been heavily relied upon as 18 or 19 years of age kid. I mean, that's just really unfair alongside the players that he has alongside him. Eddie Nketiah, who I just think is really average for his age. And then who else? Willian, of course, who apparently was Chelsea's best player last season, but I digress. And who was the other one? Oh, Nicolas Pepe. Yeah, we know about Nicolas Pepe. He's really just not lived up to the billing whatsoever. Another poor performance from him tonight. Yes, he did score a penalty, but to be honest, it's a penalty. Come on, But yeah, Arsenal's team really average. And Mikel Arteta, to be fair to them, Arsenal did try and play a little bit of a better brand of football, but they just have no quality whatsoever on that pitch. And Arteta really is under pressure because the next game, of course, is at home against Chelsea on Boxing Day, which, as a Chelsea fan, I'm not really too confident about, because I just feel it is a game that Arteta could just pull out a win and save his job in. But that could go really badly, really quickly for Arsenal in that game, because if Chelsea do hit top form, especially with the fact that we have all our wingers fit for that game, obviously barring the Christian Pulisic injury against West Ham, which fingers crossed doesn't happen, Chelsea could really do some damage to the Arsenal team at the Emirates, of course. And yeah, it should be a very interesting spectacle, and it should be very interesting to see how long more Arteta can actually last at Arsenal in this Arsenal job, because the way they're going at the moment, as I said, 7 winless games now in a row. I think only 2 points from those 7 games as well, against Southampton, and who was the other one? I can't even remember who the other one was, but the fact is they've gone 7 matches winless in the Premier League, which is just, for a club of Arsenal stature, is absolutely ridiculous. Another thing as well, Brighton are playing Sheffield United tomorrow night, and if Brighton do win that, which is, highly likely considering the fact that Sheffield United have been dire this season, Brighton could go ahead of Arsenal, which means that Arsenal would be 16th in the Premier League going into Christmas. That is absolutely astonishing. I never thought I would say those words, and genuinely, Roy Keane said a few weeks ago, that tongue-in-cheek kind of comment that Arsenal will probably survive relegation. To be honest, that is quite a possibility the way Arsenal are going. If they're sticking with Arteta and Arteta's just not getting results, not getting performances out of these players, which are already an average group of players, relegation could potentially be an option. As I said in the game against Burnley last weekend, I don't think it'll happen, but you know what? Stranger things have happened. I mean, we've seen clubs like Newcastle, Leeds United go down and stuff like that. Now, obviously, Arsenal are in a better situation than the likes of Newcastle and Leeds when they did go down. But you never know. Football's a crazy game, and anything could happen. And the fact that Arsenal are dangling so close to the relegation zone, it's really worrying from them, if I'm honest. I do, on the flip side, though, want to give a lot of credit to Everton, because they dealt really well tonight without Alan and James Rodriguez, 2 very key players who, at the start of this season, since arriving from their clubs, have been unbelievable in this Everton team, and have really been one of the main reasons why Everton have done so well so far this season. Also without Lucas Digne and Seamus Coleman as well, their full-backs, having to play 2 centre-backs in full-backs, so having 4 centre-backs on the pitch, Ben Godfrey on the left, and and Mason Holgate on the right, who I thought were very, very good going forward. I thought Abdoulaye Doucouré was absolutely instrumental in midfield. I thought Tom Davis was actually okay, despite the fact that he gave away a stupid real penalty. Calvert-Lewin was as menacing as he always is. Richarlison causing absolute havoc for Maitland-Niles on the left-hand side. I think he was absolutely brilliant today again, and probably was unlucky not to score. Iwobi's really come to his own in these last few games. I think Ancelotti is getting, a decent performance out of Iwobi every now and then, which is great to see. But yeah, overall a win as well, that actually I forgot to mention, puts Everton into second place in the Premier League now, obviously until the games that are played tomorrow are played, but even still, Ancelotti, he's done an absolutely brilliant job there, and maybe it is reactionary because they did go on a really, really bad run between October and December, but in the last 3 games they've really picked it back up again, like the form they had at the start of the season, and Ancelotti's really building a very promising project at Everton. So to be honest, the one thing I didn't understand about Arsenal, I'm going to finish the video on this, for some reason one thing I did notice was the fact that Arsenal, whenever they got down the byline, they were trying to cross it in height to Eddie Nketiah, and now bear in mind, Eddie Nketiah is about what, 5'6", 5'7", maybe that's a bit harsh, but let's be honest, he is short. That's the main thing to point out here. He is very, very short for a striker. Why are you playing the ball in high to him? That's something like Calvert-Lewin would do. I just don't understand that whatsoever. But also as well, the defending for Yerry Mina's goal was really, really poor. The first goal was kind of a bit, unlucky. The fact that it just hit Holding after Calvert-Lewin's brilliant header. I do think Arsenal should have done a lot better in closing down Iwobi for the cross in to Calvert-Lewin, because obviously Everton's main outlook is crossing to Calvert-Lewin. So the fact that they managed to let that happen, especially early in the game, really does surprise me. And yeah, overall, just another really, really draining, poor performance from Arsenal, and they're in a lot of trouble, as we all know. And yeah, I think that's where we're going to leave this video. So if you did enjoy the video, make sure to drop a like as per usual. 15 likes as per usual will be massively appreciated by myself. Also make sure to subscribe to the channel, because we've just hit 900 subscribers. So firstly, I want to thank you guys ever so much for that. It's a brilliant goal to hit, and now we're on the way to 1,000 subscribers, which just sounds absolutely mental in my head. But yeah, if you could subscribe to the channel, it costs you absolutely nothing and makes my day. So win-win situation on the road to 1k. I'll see you guys in the next video. See ya.